Everyone has had their own fair share of traumatic childhood events, no doubt. But what if I told you at 13, this guy watched his father get locked up and slammed with a lifelong jail sentence? And the worst part? That was just the beginning of the hell he went through to become one of the best quarterbacks the world has seen in over a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of CJ Stroud, the number 2 overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Now, if you've never heard about CJ, then you've probably been living under a rock, because this 22-year-old has been rocking the charts in the NFL like it's no man's business. But hey, a little backstory won't hurt now, would it? You see, back in October 2001, Coleridge Bernard Stroud IV, aka CJ Stroud, was born in Rancho Cucamonga, California. And while it's not exactly clear what the J in his nickname stands for, it was crystal clear that CJ was born to be a star the moment he picked up a ball. Young CJ was first introduced to the sport by his dad, Coleridge Bernard Stroud III, when he was just 5 years old, and ever since, he has been locked in like a puzzle piece. By the time he turned 9, CJ's local coach was blown away by how a kid his age could conveniently chuck 50-yard passes when his teammates were struggling to do half of that. Yes, young CJ was that good. So good that even coaches from other teams were willing to bet their bottom penny that he was bending the rules because they couldn't wrap their heads around how a 9-year-old could throw the ball that far. But their opinions didn't matter because CJ's dad was willing to move mountains just to make sure his son got everything he needed to be the best. He would attend every single one of CJ's games and even challenge CJ's coach if he had to. Coleridge was not just a great dad, he was practically CJ's best friend, so he was always present in his son's life both on and off the field. Until out of the blue, he wasn't there anymore. At first, no one really knew why Coleridge suddenly ghosted or where he was. Even CJ's coach was worried because it was very unusual for Coleridge to miss any of his son's games. And like you would expect, CJ also had a lot of unanswered questions. But one day, 13-year-old CJ got a call that not just answered his questions, it also changed his life in the worst way possible, because it was certainly not the answer he was expecting. The call was from his dad, and he was calling CJ from jail. It turns out that Coleridge had gotten himself in a whole lot of mess, and on April 12, 2015, he was thrown behind bars with a maximum sentence of life in prison for felony drug possession, receiving stolen property, unlawful taking of a vehicle, and armed robbery. And to make matters worse, he wouldn't even be eligible for as much as parole until 2040. Damn. I don't know about you, but this is one of the most devastating pieces of news anyone can ever get. And in CJ's case, it was even worse because he and his dad were like peas in a pod. This was the beginning of the hardest part of CJ's life. Apart from the fact that he had just lost his best friend to a jail cell, his dad being locked up also meant that his mom had to work her butt off just to take care of the family. And if we're being real, taking care of 4 kids is no child's play. It was far from being easy, not just emotionally, but also financially. CJ's mom, Kimberly, even had to work for up to 12 hours a day to keep things running. As if things weren't already bad enough, Kimberly also had to downsize their home not just once or twice, but a whopping 4 times until they eventually ended up homeless. Luckily, she grabbed an opportunity to manage a storage facility in Upland, California. As part of her job perk, she and her 4 kids could crash in a small 2-bedroom space on the top floor. Now, while any kid his age would understandably want to give up their dream after such a tragedy, CJ wasn't just any kid. He was CJ freaking Stroud. He wanted to be the best quarterback in the world, and nothing, absolutely nothing could stop him. Not even the fact that his main support system had just been sent to rot in jail, or that he didn't have as much as a penny to his name. In fact, that was his new driving force. Deep down, CJ knew that making it as an A-list football player would turn his family's financial situation around. And to do that, he first had to shake things up in his high school football team. So without wasting much time, Stroud got to work. At this point, CJ's mom was too dead broke to afford a private coach. But did he let that stop him? Absolutely not. He started coaching himself by watching Drew Brees quarterback tutorial videos on YouTube. In his first couple of years at Rancho Cucamonga High School, CJ didn't exactly do anything out of the ordinary. He got a taste of action in just 4 games during his freshman year, and that number barely bumped up to 7 in his sophomore year. But over the next 2 years, CJ would finally get a glimpse of his silver lining. Our boy went from flying under the radar on his high school junior team to becoming a 4-star recruit in one of California's toughest football conferences. And the best part? He was just getting started. Throughout the next 24 games, CJ was practically on fire. He threw a whopping 66 touchdowns to just 15 interceptions, racking up over 6,000 passing yards. But what's even more impressive is the fact that he completed over 63% of all his passes. This performance was his golden ticket to solidifying his spot as the 4th best prospect in all of California. And when you're the 4th hottest football prospect in the whole of California, you know you're liquid gold in the eyes of D1 colleges. And that's exactly what CJ was, liquid gold. From Ohio to Michigan and even Colorado, everyone wanted CJ on their team. But after weighing all his options, he eventually picked Ohio State University, where he was given a scholarship to study and still chase his football dreams. In his freshman year at Ohio State, CJ had to redshirt as Justin Fields' backup, so he only got to play one game in 2020. But after Fields left for the 2021 NFL Draft, CJ seized the spotlight with his stellar play and snatched the starting quarterback role over tough competition. Sure, it was a lot of responsibility for a kid his age, but if there's one thing CJ has consistently shown, it's his ability to step up to any challenge thrown his way. And this time, he didn't disappoint. Throughout the season, he racked up more titles than you can count on one hand. He started off with snagging first-team All-Big Ten honors, and then went on to claim the title of Big Ten Quarterback of the Year, and scored Big Ten Freshman of the Week honors a whopping 6 times. But he didn't stop there. He also made waves as a finalist for both the Davey O'Brien Award and the prestigious Heisman Trophy. And to top it all off, he made history as the only quarterback in Ohio to sling 5 touchdowns against a Big Ten opponent, an incredible 4 times in a single season. After an amazing 2021 season, Stroud kicked off 2022 as one of the best players in college football, with everyone placing their bets on him to win the Heisman Trophy. By October that same year, Stroud nailed 6 touchdown passes against Michigan and set a conference record for the most 6 passing touchdown games in a career with a total of 3. He also surpassed Justin Fields by securing 2nd place on the Ohio State career passing touchdowns list. At the end of the season, CJ found himself as a finalist of the Heisman Trophy again, and even though he didn't snag the trophy, his impressive play helped his team secure the 4th and final spot in the college football playoff. At this point, even a blind man could see that CJ is arguably one of the best quarterbacks the football world has seen in over a decade. And you can say the NFL certainly saw it too, because fast forward to January 16, 2023, CJ announced that he would forego his remaining 2 years of college eligibility to chase his dream of playing in the NFL. He was selected as the number 2 pick by the Houston Texans in the 2023 NFL Draft. Now, from the looks of things, CJ is also on his way to snatching the Rookie of the Year award if he keeps up with his excellent play. For starters, he has been consistently averaging 8.1 yards per throw like it's a walk in the park. To put that into perspective, that's a stat only one other quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, was able to achieve in his rookie season. He is also the only quarterback since the 2012 season to get a passer rating of a mind-boggling 101. CJ has a 0.6% interception rate, which is the best ever for a qualifying rookie quarterback. And if that wasn't enough to prove how good he is, he went ahead and broke the single-game rookie record with 470 passing yards and 5 touchdowns, leading the Texans to a thrilling 39-37 victory against the Buccaneers. Sheesh! Couple that with his unreal throw-on-the-run accuracy and his ability to process a defense on the move, and it's not difficult to see why CJ absolutely deserves to win the 2023 Rookie of the Year award. Well, at least that's what we think. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.